Too fast, too shifty, too good. That's what defenders say when they realize they're chasing nothing but air. And if there's one player who embodies that statement, it's Lamar Jackson. A quarterback with the speed of a wide receiver, the agility of a running back, and the vision of a point guard. He wasn't just built different, he played different. But here's the crazy part. The same traits that make him unstoppable today almost kept him from playing quarterback at all. So, how did a kid from Pompano Beach go from being doubted at every level to winning 2 MVPs and turning defenders into highlight reel victims? Let's rewind to the very beginning. Lamar Demetrius Jackson Jr. was born on January 7, 1997, in Pompano Beach, Florida, a place where football wasn't just a game, it was a way of life. But his childhood was far from easy. His family struggled financially, and when Lamar was just 8 years old, tragedy struck. On the same day, he lost both his father and his grandmother. Just like that, his mother, Felicia Jones, was left to raise him and his 3 younger siblings alone. It could have broken him. Instead, it shaped him. Lamar remembers that day vividly, how his mother, despite her own pain, told him, "Do not cry." From that moment on, he carried that toughness with him everywhere he went. Life threw obstacles his way, but he never let them slow him down. Funny enough, Lamar didn't even want to play football at first. It was his mother who signed him up when he was 8. But the moment he stepped on the field, it was obvious, this kid was different. In his very first season, he was already torching defenses, outrunning everyone, and scoring at will. Any doubts he had about playing? Gone. He was hooked. And he wasn't just surrounded by any competition, he even played against future NFL star Marquise Hollywood Brown in youth leagues. But the real secret weapon was his mama. She was coaching him, training him, pushing him. Felicia made sure Lamar wasn't just another fast kid. He was a machine. Every day after practice, she put him through extra drills. Running, cutting, flipping a 300-pound tire across the backyard. And when Lamar hesitated, she proved a point, flipping it herself. "I won't tell you to do something I can't do," she told him. And that work ethic, it stuck. By the time he hit high school, Lamar's reputation was already growing. He started at Santa Lucia's High before transferring to Boynton Beach High, where he exploded. He wasn't just fast, he was a dual threat. In his junior and senior years, he passed for over 2,200 yards and 31 touchdowns while rushing for 1,600 yards and 22 more scores. His playing style? Straight out of a video game. He made defenders look silly, juking and spinning his way to the end zone. People started calling him the next Michael Vick. But despite the jaw-dropping highlights, the doubts never stopped. Recruiters weren't convinced he could play quarterback at the next level. He was rated a 3-star recruit, not 5. Schools like Florida, Auburn, Clemson, and Louisville showed interest, but many of them had a different vision for him. They wanted him at wide receiver, running back, even defensive back. But Lamar wasn't about to let anyone tell him who he was. He was a quarterback, and one school believed in him, Louisville. Head coach Bobby Petrino promised Lamar and his mother that he would only play quarterback. That was all he needed to hear. Lamar's college career kicked off in 2015 with plenty of excitement and a few doubts. Everyone knew he was talented, but could he handle the jump to the college game? Well, it didn't take long to find out. He didn't start the season opener, but when he did get on the field, he made an instant impact, racking up 106 rushing yards on just 16 carries. By the third game, he was the starting QB. His first start? Against Clemson, one of the best teams in the country. Louisville lost a close one, 20-17, but Lamar's ability to make plays, even against an elite defense, proved he was the real deal. As the season rolled on, he just kept getting better. His breakout moment came against Florida State when he threw for 307 yards and 3 touchdowns. Taking on a powerhouse program and putting up numbers like that? Yeah, people started paying attention. Of course, it wasn't all smooth sailing. Like any young QB, Lamar had his struggles with accuracy and decision-making. But then came the Music City Bowl against Texas A&M, where he absolutely took over, 453 total yards, 4 touchdowns, and an MVP award to cap it off. By the end of his freshman year, he had nearly 2,000 passing yards, 12 touchdowns, and almost 1,000 rushing yards with 11 more scores. His passing still needed some work, but his ability to make plays was undeniable. Heading into his sophomore year, Lamar has eyes on him. If anyone still doubted him heading into 2016, he shut them up real quick. Right out of the gate, he looked like a completely different beast. In the season opener against Charlotte, he put up a jaw-dropping 8 touchdowns in the first half, 6 through the air, 2 on the ground. Louisville rolled to a 70-14 win, and that was just the beginning. Next up was Syracuse, and Lamar went off again, 610 total yards, 5 touchdowns, and that iconic hurdle over a defender on his way to the end zone. The play went viral, and just like that, Lamar Jackson was must-watch TV. But it was the showdown against number 2 Florida State that truly made him a household name. The Seminoles had one of the toughest defenses in the country, didn't matter. Lamar ran for 4 touchdowns, threw for another, and led Louisville to a 63-20 beatdown. Just like that, he was the clear Heisman frontrunner. And he never looked back. By season's end, Lamar had thrown for over 3,500 yards and 30 touchdowns, plus another 1,571 yards and 21 scores on the ground, making him the first player ever to pass for 3,000-plus yards and rush for 1,500-plus in the same season. He was unstoppable. By the time the season wrapped up, there was no debate. Lamar Jackson was the best player in college football. Finally drafted, he won ACC Player of the Year again, became a first-team All-American, and had NFL scouts buzzing. By the time his junior season wrapped up, he had one thing left to do: take his talents to the big leagues. But, of course, the NFL had questions. Could he pass well enough? Was he too reliant on running? Should he switch positions? Some scouts actually suggested he play wide receiver. Yeah, because clearly, a Heisman-winning, record-breaking quarterback needed a career change. Lamar wasn't having it. No wide receiver drills, number 40-yard dash, just him, a football, and an arm that would make defenses cry. Still, as draft night rolled on, quarterback after quarterback got picked, but Lamar was still waiting. Finally, with the very last pick of the first round, the Baltimore Ravens took a chance. Lamar didn't just get drafted, he got a mission. And the rest of the NFL were about to find out just how bad of an idea it was to doubt him. Lamar Jackson entered the NFL in 2018 as a first-round pick but started as a backup to Joe Flacco. Midway through the season, Flacco got injured, and Lamar took over, leading the Ravens to a 6-1 finish and a playoff berth. Though they lost in the first round, he had already changed the team's identity. In 2019, Lamar silenced critics with an MVP season. He started by throwing 5 touchdowns in the opener against Miami and kept dominating. He set the single-season rushing record for a QB, 1,206 yards, led the league in touchdown passes, and guided the Ravens to a 14-2 record, the best in the NFL. He became just the second unanimous MVP in history. Lamar and the Ravens had a dream season in 2019, until the playoffs crashed the party. The Titans walked in, shut down the high-flying offense, and sent Baltimore home with a 28-12 loss. Lamar put up crazy stats, but turnovers and bad luck ruined the night. Then came 2020 and once again the pressure was on. Lamar came out swinging but had to deal with injuries, COVID chaos. He even tested positive himself, and people still questioning if he could win in the playoffs. Spoiler, he could. The Ravens got sweet revenge on the Titans in the wild card round. But just when things were looking up, Buffalo slammed the door in the next game. To make it worse, Lamar got concussed. Later in 2021, Lamar finally took down Mahomes and the Chiefs, led an insane comeback against the Colts with a ridiculous 442 passing yards, and broke records along the way. Lamar and the Ravens were cruising through 2021 until injuries hit like a wrecking ball. One by one, key players dropped, and suddenly, Lamar had to carry the entire team like a one-man army. He fought tooth and nail to keep the Ravens in the playoff hunt, but in Week 14 against the Browns, disaster struck, his ankle got wrecked, and just like that, his season was over. Without him, the Ravens collapsed, losing 6 straight games and missing the playoffs. 2022 rolled around, and Lamar had 2 things on his mind: proving he was still elite and getting paid. He stormed into the season throwing for 749 yards and 10 touchdowns in just 3 games. His Week 2 showdown with the Dolphins was pure fireworks: 318 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and another 119 yards rushing. Basically, he was a cheat code. The Ravens were rolling at 7-3, Lamar was in MVP form, and everything was looking great, until Week 13. Another injury. This time, his knee betrayed him, and just like that, he was out for the rest of the regular season. The Ravens still made the playoffs, but without Lamar, they were like a car running on fumes. They fought hard against the Bengals but fell short, 24-17. Then came the offseason. Lamar was a free agent, and the entire football world held its breath. Would he stay or would he go? After months of drama, speculation, and Twitter debates, the Ravens backed up the Brinks truck, a 5-year, $260 million contract with $185 million guaranteed. Baltimore wasn't letting their superstar go anywhere. With the weight of his new contract on his shoulders, Lamar entered 2023 determined to prove he was worth every penny. Under a new offensive system, he became a more balanced passer while still keeping defenses terrified of his running ability. In Week 12, he etched his name in the history books, hitting 5,000 career rushing yards faster than any quarterback in history, beating even his idol, Michael Vick. Once again, Lamar was proving that when healthy, there's nobody like him. Late in the season, the Ravens faced their biggest test, a match with the 49ers in what many called a Super Bowl preview. San Fran was favored, but Lamar had other plans. He lit up the field with 252 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 picks, leading Baltimore to a 33-19 win. Message sent. The Ravens finished 13-4, locking up the number 1 seed. Lamar put up 3,678 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, and 821 rushing yards. His efforts earned him his second MVP award, nearly unanimous, 49 out of 50 votes. One voter decided to be that guy and robbed him of a second unanimous MVP, but hey, winning 2 MVPs by age 27? That's legendary status.